Hello everyone, welcome to the round 7 of Anti-Stall Racing Sports Car Series. Today at a really sunny day here in Spain at the Circuito de Jerez, Angel Nieto. Famous for its MotoGP races, never have we really seen that often sports cars racing. But it is a really fun track actually for multi-class racing. As we now go on to our qualifying stage, shall we? With the GT4 class being the first ones on.
Green flag for the GT4 class. Green flag for the GT4 class.
As they jump out of the track now. Yoni being the first one on the track. For now, let's just go really quickly to our leaderboard standings. On the GT4 class, we have Sven de Mel leading by 50 points over Yoniniemi. And then behind, 140 points behind Yoniniemi, that is, it's Valti Kallio. Philippe Weiss is also in P4, Alex May is in P5. It's going to be interesting to see if on these last two rounds Yoniniemi can get around it and go finish ahead of Sven de Mel. Last round, Sven de Mel got 75 points more than Yoniniemi, which is his closest competitor. Now, we should see the track. There we go. So that we also see how the layout track is. It's a very dynamic track. It's a lot of different types of corners. Not really slow, not really fast. Just everything to really push on a driver. So, let's go on an onboard, shall we? The deepest, hardest braking point here on this track. He goes wide to get the most speed here. So now crosses the pit straight. And the clock starts ticking as he goes to the almost 90-degree corner to the right. Use as much as the left outside part as possible. Cut, it goes on to the next corner. A harder braking point here, a right corner. We do see that you have a lot of runoff area on this track. But beware that any bit on the white lines can cause you an off track and your lap time will be lost as he goes down to the last. Probably the fastest corner here on this track, but still you gotta keep a lot of speed here. So really tricky ones like double apex. Goes uphill then downhill on to another deep hard braking point. You can use more on the outside there. Your name keeps it on the white lines as he goes on to the right. Now this corner here is fast, but you cannot go too fast, otherwise you can't get an off track, but you need to position to the next corner here. Another long one. This one's slower than the previous one. It's all on sector 2. So it goes to the right here and right again afterwards. Be careful with that curb, you can jump from it. Same here, as we see the car getting bumpy here. Go back, cuts the grass, and now a chicane. This is the layout with the chicane. This time you use a bit more on the curbs, settles more of the car, goes to right to another right, keeping the right from the previous corner. Hard braking point here, the slowest speed here, and now he does it more on the inside. He's the outside of that and crosses the line. So, his first two sectors weren't even the fastest, so someone behind him did faster sectors. You should start seeing lap times right now by the others, and we still have Yoniniemi in the provisional pole. Sarah Schmidt now crossing the line on a Mercedes, goes 4th fastest. Let's just put the cap. There we go. So Alex May does the purple sector, Harry Yunus also does another purple sector. But so far, these two drivers did an off track, so their laps get invalidated. Harry Unila is crossing here on what appears to be still on the second lap. Still on the first sectors. Sven de Mel gets 200 of a second slower than Yoniniemi for that pole. Remember, we got 12 minutes here for qualifying. Still enough time for our drivers to put out some laps. Well, where is Yoniemi right now? He is doing the chicane here. Gets more in the bumps there, but be careful to not completely rotate the car. Brakes really hard. You can see the front is clinging into the down. As he crosses the line, and does he beat his lap time? He does have green sector and purple sectors. He does. Now gets 4/10 of a second ahead of Sven de Mel. Sven de Mel being on his apparently second lap. There we go. This is the best camera here. You can see more of the car. That beautiful BMW. Blue and yellow. Oh, that's a big cut. That lap has got to be invalidated. And it appears so because Sven now is going really slowly, probably preparing himself for the next lap. He doesn't have anyone behind him. He's clear behind. As he now starts wider here. Yes, he does. So that he gets the most speed here on the straight. That's a trick you gotta do. Every kilometer here, kilometer per hour that is, will make a difference. We did see Sven get a second purple sector. Unfortunately for that lap, it was invalidated, and he just went slow anyway. It was a lost lap. Heavy unit now in P2. Let's see what this driver can do. Still going a bit slower. Maybe still preparing himself for the next lap. Look at the Waluigi helmet inside. This is a Mario Kart, but he is still fast. The Porsche here of Alex May in P3. So currently the top 3 is for only Porsches. Sven de Mel being the only non-Porsche in the top 5. But he still has to improve his lap time. Charlie Lord here with the beautiful livery on his Aston Martin. His lap times is currently 1.1 seconds behind the provisional pole. Still a lot he can do. This is a somewhat new track. This is only existed for about 2 seasons. So some drivers there still probably need to learn the track. Usually it's on the official rotation more often. And I still think it's one of those good tracks to have. It feels a very dynamic track. It's not boring at all. Even with all the runoffs, it still takes quite a skill to maximize all the parts of the track that you can use. So, where is Sven de Mel? He is right ahead on track of Charlie Lord. Wonder if this lap is it for Sven de Mel to pass Yoniniemi. Yoniniemi with 2 yellow sectors, 1 green one, but he's still pretty much 2 tenths ahead of P2. I don't think he's in really big trouble here. Maybe he can improve. There was a purple sector. He does not improve. It was 7 hundredths of a second slower. You see Philippe is in P3 now. It's good for breaking out the Porsches. Did seem like he went a bit too wide there, but I think it should be fine. Sven de Mel now. Crossing the line, he had a purple sector, the first one, and is it an improvement? It is. He goes up to P3. Everyone's getting a bit closer here to Yoniniemi now, but even Yoniniemi is improving his lap time, so it's not over yet. We got Yoniniemi with the first green sector, 2 yellow sectors right next to it. Valtteri Kallio here, same team of Alistar Esports. He's got 2 green sectors, so it's improvement on his own at least.
GT4, 1 minute until checker flag. 1 minute until checker flag.
That's Kevin Stam saying that GT4s only have 1 minute. 1 minute means that even if you cross 1 second before that time, you can still do another lap. But it will mean that the LMP3s will start greening up on the pit lane. Well, Valtteri Kallio, he is now crossing the last corner here. It does not improve his lap time. 30 seconds ago, if we see already an LMP3 on the pit, I think it's a bit too soon to do that, but who knows. Today, unfortunately, we don't have live steering, so all the penalties or incidents that happen will have to be...
Checker flag for GT4. Checker flag for GT4.
All incidents will have to be reported on our Discord channel. If you don't know, you can join us at Anti-Sol Racing on Discord. For the next season's event, you can already get ready for the announcement. We will announce it next week. So pay attention on the last round of our sports car series, that we will announce what our next series will be for our Anti-Sol Racing. So, we do see LMP3s already on the pit lane, but we also have our GT4 still finishing the laps. Sven de Mel now starting in P3 though. He needs to be careful and not get too far behind.
LMP3. Green flag LMP3.
LMP3 though. That happened. Okay. So, Brendan Hawkin now. He perhaps is leading. Let me just check real quick. I forgot if he was leading the settings against Tom Daswell. They were the ones competing for first place on the LMP3 class. Tom Daswell is currently leading. These two have a really big margin too. It's 2,119 points for Tom Daswell, and it's 2,158 points for Brendan Hawkins. So that's 60 points difference on this before second last round as we go here, and then we have 300 points by Loins behind of Brendan Hawkins. So P1 and P2 are basically guaranteed to stay in this position, unless of course one DNF. It could happen, but seeing as today we don't have that many drivers, it's just better to keep yourself to the end, you know. Just get as much points as you can just by finishing is all you really have to do. But 80% of the race has to be finished for you to be classified and get some points. Now we go on to Brandon Hawkin. Let's go for an on-board on this LMP3 higher downforce in GT4. Right, crosses the line now and he starts his lap time. Goes as much to the left as possible, but still keeping the two wheels on the right, on the road. Another right corner here. As he goes, he's more on the left side here, but not crossing too much. From the outside of one corner to the other side of the other corner, still keeping full speed now. This has a lot more downforce than GT4. You can go flat out on some of the corners that you couldn't normally do it with the GT4. Those slow lines could be improved. We go now see Brandon doing a lot more on the exit of left side here compared to Yun we saw on the outboard previously on GT4. Goes flat out on this corner, doesn't have any trouble. Blinks a bit on this corner, keeps it on the throttle, keep the racing line. Another right corner to another right corner. Has to cut back because the runoff ends now for the chicane. You can use a bit of those sausage curbs, but not too much because this suspension is a lot stiffer than the GT4. Now does the last corner here really tidy. Gives him more acceleration for the exit and crosses the line. We did not see any purple sector from Brandon Hawkin, so that's 1 second behind provisional pole. Top Dezo did a really good job on this first lap, but of course it is still early. There's still what can still happen. Tom is still doing his lap and already another purple sector. You can see how much he uses the two right wheels pretty much on the curbs. Kevin stand there with what appears to be a purple sector, same as Matty. Is it possible they both have the same time? Now on to the last sector here, Tom Dedsville. Tess has to do the chicane and 2 more corners. So far he has 2 purple sectors. It's a great effort by him. Look at how much the car jumps with this car. On the sausage curbs, he doesn't even use the sausage curbs on the right side, on the last corner. Deep hard braking. As he now crosses the line. It's gonna be an improvement. I don't think he got any off track, so it's gonna be an easy. Yeah, it's an easy improvement by him. Now 5/10 ahead of Matti. Matti, we saw how he struggled on some tracks like the previous one and with Atlanta, but now seems to get his groove back. Brandon Hawkins still not close enough. Interesting to see. Seems like he is struggling on this track. I think we raced here on touring cars. Not sure if he struggled there, but it's good to see that not one driver is dominating every track. Matti now with the second purple sector. He's just fighting some pace on this track. There we go. Basically uses it's like a corner. Oh, drifting a bit on the exit there, but still keeping it on the road. No loss of control. He goes a bit slower on the middle, but uses the curbs on the other two. So seems that Matti now only has the second purple sector, not Kevin Sam anymore. So I don't know what that was. Seems like he went, passed it in, slow it out compared to Tom Daswell on that corner, the last corner. But it does seem like he struggled a bit, so 3 seconds slower than his fastest lap time. Where is Kevin? Kevin now crosses the line, goes up to P4. Everyone has put a lap time except for Kevin Gavin, which I'm not sure where he is. Seems like he's not even on track. Gio Teodoro crosses the line now, tries to improve from his 6th position, but this was his out lap, so now it is his push lap. Let's just go for a quick on board. Just listen to the car. Oh, he lost it. That's it for his lap time. That's unfortunate for him, but we did see Tom Detwell had 2 purple sectors, but I don't think that lap was enough to beat his own. Still 5/10 ahead of 2nd place of Matti Hampa. Matti now with the green sector though. But even Tom Daswell is improving his lap time. Matti now with 2 yellow sectors. Seems like it's not enough for improved lap time unless some magic happens on this last sector, but so far Brighton Hawken doesn't seem to catch even Matti. It's still 4/10, almost 4/10 behind. Tom Daswell improves his lap time now, increasing it by 2/10 of a lead towards Matti in 2nd place. Brighton crosses the line. Improves slightly, just under a second behind the pole position. Tom Daswell, another purple sector. This man is on fire today. Seems like he has really gotten the groove of the track and appears to dominate it today. We will see during the race, but it's really good for Tom to be so comfortable here. He's the one who is currently leading the championship too. It has jumped from Tom to Brandon to back to Tom again. And these 2 drivers are the only ones that have won the races here on the Anti-Stall Racing LMP3 class of sports categories. None other have won the race besides Tom and Brandon. Same as in GT4, it's only been won by Sven de Mel and Jori Niemi. These 2 are fighting each other on their respective championships. It's really good to see. Tom Damsel crosses the line. Still not an improvement. 1 second behind this fastest lap time. Now, 10 seconds almost till the end of qualifying. These have to be the laps. Brian Lund, when he crosses the line, he will be able to do another lap. And this is the last driver that we will see doing laps, as qualifying now is going to end. Tom Deswell, another first purple sector. Can he make it through the rest of the track to get finally a better improvement on his lap time? Brian Loynes is up to P2. You can still improve another time. That makes Brian now in P4. He's even outside of the podium here. He still starts on the second row, but to overtake 3 tracks, even though this track is really good for overtaking. It's gonna be some work from Brandon. See now Tom, that's over 2 purple sectors. Can he improve it? Get the first 145s. That's the last corner. Still keeping it inside the track. As we see Barney wave the flag. 3 purple sectors. That is almost a 145 too. That's unfortunate for him, but he already has pole position, so I don't think he's too mad about that. But it's great to see that he can really dominate on this track. Brian Lawrence here being the last one to cross the line. Brandon Halkett improves that time, but still stays in P4. Can Brian Lawrence do anything about it? Unfortunately, no. He stays in P2. And that is for qualifying of both classes. It's going to be really interesting. Yuri Niemi and Tom Deswell, the leaders of their respective class, are in first place. Braden is in P4 of his championship on his class, second in the championship, and we have Sven de Mel with P3 on the grid of his class, and well, second place. No. Yeah. Sven de Mel is on. Now I completely forgot it. If it was, yeah, Sven de Mel is in first place of the championship. So these 2 drivers have to really put on a fight, Sven de Mel and Brandon, to get that lead. In Sven's case, to keep the lead. It's not too far away. The difference between the first position and second position can be about 30 points. But even qualifying gives you points, so. So you now see drivers doing their practice run. I will go on the grid positions in a bit. Let's just do a little warm-up, shall we? A little.
Just a gentle reminder for whoever wasn't here and whoever was confused where the briefing on race control went. Unfortunately, Steve is currently in the hospital with a medical emergency and Andy is still on vacation. So, as previously mentioned, there will not be any live joining today. If there's any incidents, please go towards the incident report channel and we'll get to it as soon as possible. If there's any abuse or briefing, I will try to deal with it anyways. So yeah, we're incredibly sorry that this happened. We'll make sure it doesn't happen again next time.
Kevin Sam there warning about why there wasn't any still live streaming today due to a medical emergency of our race director. He couldn't be here, so there was no one to be here. So again, it has to be reported incidents after the race. We can still look at them, of course. We always like to look at the accidents, give our own opinions about what happened. But yeah, while this is happening, a little quick bathroom break, and I'll see you in the back soon. Alright, as we return now to the race. Real quick, let's go to the grid, shall we? So, in first place, we have all the P3's Tom Daswell, P2 with Brian Loyne, P3 with Matti Hampa, P4 with Brian Hawken, P5 Ken Stam, P6 with Dirk Theodoro, P7 with Leon van der Hoeven. No, that's Sebastian van der Hoeven. Leon Erdewood, P8 with Kevin Gavin. Unfortunately for Kevin, he said he couldn't do this as a, well, he was stepping out because he didn't have enough time to practice and he was struggling. That's it. And we go on to the LMP4 class with Joni Niemi in P1, Alex May in P2, Sven de Mil in P3, Harry Riel in P4, Philip Boyes in P5, Valtteri Kali in P6, Charlie Lowe in P7, Daniel Ronk in P8, Joni Takkanen in P9, and Sarah Schmidt in P10. Now, they have to do the full lap here on pacing. Okay, sorry for the silence, I was just taking a little quickly. Now, Brian Hawken here, he will have some trouble overtaking on the fourth corner, at least because he is on the outside of both corners ahead of him. Matti is on the inside. It's not going to be good for Brendan to try to overtake there as soon as possible. He has to be patient. What else we can say about the GD LMP3s? They can easily overtake each other here. There's enough space on the strikes and it can be a single line. A lot of corners to do that. Meanwhile, the GT4s, we have Sven de Mil in P3 right behind Joni Niemi. These two can probably keep themselves right behind each other as the first corner is going by, and we see safety car here pitting. It's up to our leader Tom Detzel to start the race. And there you go.
Green flag, green flag.
It is green flag, and we see Brian Hawken already struggling here. He has another. Well, it's still Matti on the inside. I thought there was someone else who's going to try to overtake. He's trying to keep ahead of Matti, but Matti, ooh, he lost a bit of control. Matti there, gonna lose a bit of time here, and Brian does get ahead of him on the next one, being the left side, the one he started in. Meanwhile, with the GT4s here, we see Sven de Mil now still in P3. He did not keep himself behind Joni Niemi. So it's gonna be good for Joni. And everyone still keeps themselves ahead of each other. Now, Duke Tudor also passed Kevin Stem here on the first lap. Kevin Stem now seems like he's being blocked by Diogo Leon right behind him, seeing what they can do. Mati goes up to P3 now. He managed to overtake Brandon Hawkin. Huge gap between P2 and P3 now. 1.5 seconds. It's going to be good for our Altitude Esports drivers to keep themselves ahead of that competition of Brandon Hawkin there. Meanwhile, with the GT4 class here, you see, is that an attempt to overtake? It is. Valtteri Kallio does manage to get ahead. Now a bigger distance between the both Aston Martins of Charlie Oden and Danny Ronke. Meanwhile, Kevin Stem trying to pass again Duke Tudor. What happened to Leon? Leon went off track already on the first lap. Oh, I see. He fortunately got too close to the car ahead of Kevin Stem and managed to spun himself. But he is still ahead of the GT4 class, so he's not getting lapped. Or... oops. Kevin is way off track, doing a whole different line there. At least he didn't stop accelerating, but keeps himself on the road. Diogo now really close to Brandon Hawkin. Why is Brandon being a bit slower here? Does he have damage? Doesn't appear like they touched. Let's just see what Brandon's car looked like from up close. Doesn't seem like there's any scratch or anything. Seems like Brandon's just struggling on this track. Well, the top three here of the GT4 class really close together. Really close together. Actually, it could be an overtake opportunity here. To see how wide Joni Niemi does. Philip Weiss is also in the mix now on his McLaren. Right behind this top three. Leon apparently went off track just now. Way more than went off track. Interesting. What happened? It does not show what happened, weirdly enough. So I'm gonna have to... Nope, this is wrong. It's here. There we go. So, it just stepped a bit on the sand and just gave up. We see Leon give up too many times on this series, so I wonder if he's just not comfortable with the car or just not enough practice in general. Duke Tudor is still keeping close to Ben Hawkin. He's not really struggling on this track, is he? And keeping some distance from Kevin Stam. Meanwhile, the GT4 class is also pretty close to each other. Let's go on a little onboard from Ars van der Mel. That was a big cut. Valtteri Kallio, did he just go to the pit? He's out. He's actually out. Yeah, he was out of the race. Something must have happened to him. All right. Meanwhile, we still see our GT4 class drivers still keeping very close to each other. Wonder if Leon is going to start try and get back to the race, since he still has a fast repair, or maybe just gave up completely. Kevin Sam now being off track. Might have spun just now. Let's see. Brakes really hard, misses the braking point, then cuts a bit on the track. Thankfully, he faced bigger mistakes. Tom Dazzle being the fastest on track now, 3 seconds ahead of P2 of his Altitude Esports teammate. The other guy is doing 147s. They could be set up wise that the Altitude Esports are really good at on this track, or it just could be a really comfortable track for them. Brandon still hasn't really kept him distance himself from Duke Teodoro. I wonder why, if it's actually Dancer is just really struggling. Because this is unnatural to see Brandon Hawkins struggling so much. Meanwhile, we got these two ahead of Austin and Demel, super close to each other. But still no overtaking is being done between these drivers. They're keeping themselves on the position here. From the start, only Philip West overtook Harry Yonila. Top 5 under the second to each other, in between each other. Then Darren Ronke is almost 6 seconds behind. Actually, he's getting even more distance. Something must have happened. No, it's just natural. Ooh, that was super close. Almost looked like they were gonna hit each other. But Alex may stop right on time before something really bad happened. Ooh, it does the corner a lot better than Yuri, but unfortunately for Alex, there was no way he could overtake. But he's going to try it now, and he goes back on his racing line. It has to be an opportunity for Alex to overtake Yoni. He apparently seems to be faster now here on the race compared to the qualifying. Even though the qualifying lap times weren't that distant between each other. But it has to be now. They are super close, he got a good exit. Oh, but the acceleration here. The top speed from the Yoni Porsche is way superior to Alex. It has to be done on the corners. Somewhere Alex May has to overtake on the corner. Meanwhile, we still have a lot of these drivers right behind him. They're waiting for an opportunity as well. It's just really a matter of when can everyone start overtaking Yoni Niemi. I feel that starting to get, oh, Henry Yulia in fact is starting to get a bit distance. Look at how close. Still, there is no way he can try and overtake here. This doesn't seem like they are saving fuel either to take advantage of the current position. So Alex has to find a spot and either by mistake of Yoniemi or just a really good exit. Where are the other drivers now? On the track? Are they gonna start overtaking each other? Perhaps. For some reason the track map is not appearing. Why? You can see the weather though. It's afternoon. It's because I'm used to the hours here. It's still a lot of lighting, sunlight. I mean, available during these hours. But we do see finally Tom Desville is starting to approach this top 5 group. He overtook already some of the other GT4 cars, trying to find a gap now to overtake. Sorry, just had to reload overlay real quick. There we go, now we have the map. So, they are starting to build each other. We can see a little group of cars there. We just saw Tom Denzel overtaking the leader of the GT4s, but they are still all pretty much close together. That group of 5 cars though, it's interesting to see. It's gonna make the other LMP3s now struggle to overtake, as we see Brian Loins now trying to get ahead of these GT4 cars, but it's gonna be only on slow corners now. Gonna have to slow down on the chicane. Oh no, he's pushing it. Oh, that was risky. Maybe he separated those cars by a lot between P3 and P4 now. I don't think Philip liked that very much. Anyway, now on the straight he can overtake the last GT4 drivers. And it's gonna be pretty much ahead on open roads ahead of him. But now he is 7.6 seconds behind the leader. It's not gonna be good. Brandon Hockey, meanwhile, is getting close to Matti, but Diogo Teodoro lost a lot. So now I see him 5 seconds behind Brandon Hockey when he used to be about a second. Matti already trying to overtake these cars, and he does so safely. Brandon Hockey got a really good exit there. Gonna try to overtake on the outside. Got really close to Matti on those overtaking of slower class cars. Well, Alex May is now really close, almost side by side here with Yoniniemi. He has to do it somewhere. On these corners it seems to be the best for him. Gets super close, but nothing can be done. Kevin Stam, what is happening here? He's really close to Diogo. Diogo not being really quick behind traffic. This could be an overtake done quite soon. They both are through the GT4 class. Now it's quite one by one. Also, Alex May got really close to Yoriemi. So close, in fact, it's only Sven that lost a lot of time because of the traffic on the last corner of the track. That was a bit too wide, couldn't get as much aerodynamic downforce there to be quick enough. 15 minutes have passed, about 10 more minutes till we see everyone pitting. Valtteri is completely out. I thought he was at least disconnected and had to come back, but no. Oh, that was almost a big mistake there. At least he can still keep himself on the road. Just lost a lot of time to Diogo, about 3 seconds. Tom Desville now faster lap than the qualifying time he did. He is really making a mark on this track. Really gonna keep this gap over Brandon. It seems. Alright, these top 3 on the depot class still way too close to each other, but no overtaking is being done. I guess they are waiting for the better opportunity, but it could be defined by the pit stops. It could change completely. Kevin Stown now getting closer to Diogo Teodoro after his almost spin. Philip West and Harry Julian unfortunately got separated by that little top 3 pack. Look at how Kevin Sam got so close now to Diogo. He's gonna try and overtake him soon. We will keep an eye on that. But meanwhile, we still have to see if there's gonna happen anything between these top 3 players here. They're so close. But it doesn't seem like any of them is really doing a mistake. Alex May has been getting closer in certain corners, but as long as Yuri keeps it tidy at least, he will keep the advantage of being ahead. Sven de Mel cannot do anything besides, well, just wait for the right opportunity, as he should be doing, well, till at least the pit stop. Now, where is our Tom Desville, the race leader? He is somewhere. Now there he is. He is on the last corner, so he is still far away from the GT4 leaders, so they can still fight within each other. But it could be when they get a bit close to each other, one of them is going to start pitting, just to avoid losing time between the overtakes of different classes. Kevin Sam now going side by side here with Diogo. Diogo still keeps it, but Kevin is going to stay on the inside on the next corner, and he does pass him. Diogo did the corner a lot wider. Guess he gave up that. Matti Hampa crashed. See what happened there. Ooh, just a little spin, but he managed to keep himself ahead. Not ahead, but still behind Brian Hawken. Alex May entered the pit lane, so he is going to be the first one to pit. Charlie Lord as well is pitting in. We will see how far Alex May can get back ahead, of the GT4 of Yoni and Sven de Mel. Sven now taking advantage now of getting even closer to Yoni. Matti pits. The first of the LMP3s is pitting. Ariel still not giving up. Paul Philip. And even Diogo is still behind. Less than half a second behind of Kevin Stem, so this fight for P4 or QB actually by both P5, since Matti was quick, but he did pit. Even though he did lose control there, he was still ahead. Look at the speed that Matti had, Diogo has. He's gonna try it on the outside of Kevin Stam. A little switcheroo perhaps. No, he does give up. Philip Weiss and Harry Junla both pitting at the same time. We will see who will exit ahead. As long as these two don't miss their pit stops. And they don't. They are actually on the spot that they should supposed to be. So, while they are at it, Sven de Mel, Yoniemi still keeping themselves entertained here. Meanwhile, Tom Dadswell is getting really close. About 2 corners close, in fact. You can see on the map the 1 and the 1 on the right side there. Philip does get out first, just as before when he entered. Sven just looking at Yoniniemi. Tom Dadswell now is supposed to be really close. There he is. You can see the cars right there on the next corner. Now it's just, he has a lot of margin with the cars behind him, so I guess he's keeping it safe. He doesn't need to force himself ahead of those cars. Let them fight each other and then overtake when he's safe. Now, will any of these two pit though? You see Yoniemi. He is going to pit. So is Sven. There is a different entry there that we see from Sven de Mel. Just see how close he was. You can really see him ahead, even stopped. Oh yeah, because Sven did qualify behind, a lot behind Yoni. Now, we are seeing that Alex May is still crossing the last corner. Can he stay ahead? Can he stay ahead of Sven de Mel? Apparently not, because Sven de Mel and Yoni is already exiting. He's gonna not get it on time. There he is, Alex May is crossing the finish line. These two are crossing the pit exit. Did it do? He gets still on the same position. No, Sven de Mel. It's not over yet. He can still do it on the inside. So after those different pit stops, Alex May still stays in P2. This battle is never gonna end for them. Duke Theodoro is already pitting. That gives the opportunity for Kevin Stelm to keep a distance from him. He's actually exiting the pit, Diogo. Who else has to pit besides the top 3? Top 4 of the LMP3 class has to pit. So everyone in the GT4 class has pitted. Tom Daswell just now is going to pick though. It's going to start the pittings of the LMP3 class. So if Brian Lawrence is also pitting. Where's Brandon Hawken? Brandon Hawken is going for the last corner. Is he going to pit now? He is. So I guess this is the time for everyone else to pit. That was remaining too. Okay. Good to know. Alex May still in P2. Yoniemi is still in P1. Sven de Mel is still in P3. There we go, Kevin Stem, the last one remaining to pit, is also pitting. Tom Dess already exiting pit. He's gonna stay ahead of these GT4 cars. Good for him. You can hear that lovely V8. I think it's from Kevin Stem. No, it's not. Why is he changing tires? That's gonna be a long loss of time. The Octidor is gonna pass him on the pit exit. Or perhaps not. He's already on the pit exit. We see Diogo cruising in really quickly. No. It appears that Diogo still keeps himself behind Kevin Stem. There is Matti overtaking the GT4 cars. Ooh, that's a little bump there from Alex May to Yoniemi. Wait a minute. What happened to Duke? I mean, Kevin. Duke got really close to Kevin. I'm not sure if it was a change of tires to make the tires cold for Kevin being worse to drive on the first laps. Ooh, that's a lot of jumps there from Diogo. But he's really pushing to get that P5 position. Ooh, these two are finally a bit side to side, but no, still no overtaking being done. Alex May got a good exit there. Can he perhaps send it to the inside? No, he's gonna stay behind. They have to figure out when is the right time to overtaking, because 15 minutes to go. These three drivers, well, two behind, are gonna start making some moves for sure. Everyone is hungry for that win, especially Sven de Mel to stay in first position of the championship. He needs to stay ahead of these two, otherwise Yoniemi will pass him. Kevin Stem now overtaking the GT4 cars. And right behind is Diogo. Diogo is keeping himself behind, so he is not going to force himself in the middle of the GT4 cars. Let's just see real quick. When is he going to overtake? Is he going for the inside now? He is. There we go. So Brian Hawkin in P3, 10 seconds behind P2 of Brian Lunds, which is also 12 seconds behind Tom Daswell. Just not a really good track for Brian Hawkin. Still a podium position, but perhaps he needed the most to win this one. Send them out, just got a little quick off track there. They are pushing. Doesn't seem like they are doing this as safe as possible. I'm impressed by Sven though. He should be able to overtake even Alex May. Since every time that is so wide for all of them. Since Alex May is constantly going a bit slower on certain corners due to Yoni Niemi blocking a bit by being a bit slower than him. But when it really matters, of course, it's a straight. And as long as Yoni Niemi gets some decent exit, he's gonna keep himself ahead of Alex May. So we saw Harry Unila and Philip Weiss were the ones trying to get the P4 position, a bit behind. Oh, now Philip Weiss is 5.7 seconds behind P3. So I wonder what happened to Harry to completely lose all the momentum he had. There's not much happening between RL and P3 class. They're just chilling on their own, basically. The Octidoro, which seemed to be closer to Kevin Stem, unfortunately got a bit distant, I think, after the traffic. So all the really big battles happening is on the GT4 class. Especially these three, they are so close to each other, anything can happen anytime. Charlie Lord tried to overtake the other Aston Martin. He is getting really close to Daniel. He's getting some good pace now. Still gonna take a while. Oh, there it is, Van de Mel. Maybe an overtake, but it backs out. Still got 10 minutes to try and do something. He has to get ahead of these two. Now he lost a lot of distance between those two cars ahead of him. But I still think he can make it. As long as Alex May is struggling to overtake Yoniemi. I think Sven can get close again. It just takes a while. Meanwhile, Tom Desel. What happened to Mati? This is Mati Pampa in P4. Ooh, we saw sometimes this happening. Fortunately, he couldn't get back quick enough. You know, he's to do a really awkward move to get back on the road. He's even stationary there at the long time. I guess to let everyone pass. Now he goes on. Mati goes to the pit. That means Kevin Stam is in P4, Diogo Tidor is in P5. Could have reached the incident limit, perhaps. Sven Mill still not close now to the Porsches ahead of him. Oh, Harry really lost a lot of time because he's pet on the pit lane. So that would mean he had an extra pit stop done. There he is. A little birdie told me. Just kidding, it was in chat, our YouTube chat. Look at that. Sven is back closer to these guys, ahead of him. There's not that much time left. It's about, what, 3 or 4 laps left? Has to be done somewhere. Alex May now with the fastest lap time on the GT4 class. Your name, you're really close too with the lap time. But it's just not happening. And then we have Tom Deswell that's getting close here to these top 3. Maybe separate them again. Gotta look out for that. Sven lost a bit of time in that corner. Now, is Thomas just gonna keep it? No, he just sends it. There we go. The LP3 is past GT4s. Five minutes to go. And these 3 have not changed position, even after the pit stop. Always under a second between each other. Most of the time being half a second between each other. It's amazing. But we will start seeing some desperate boosts perhaps on these last laps. Charlie Lord, who seemed to have been getting closer to Daniel, is still now 1 second behind. Doesn't seem like he's getting much faster than Daniel Ronke. So, what happened to Matti again? Did he quit? Well, meanwhile, while that is happening, we have to get back to our lead of the GT forecast. Again, they always bump. There's always a little bump, but there's just no space or even the correct line for Alex May to overtake Yoniemi. It seems like he can do it. He has the pace, but just not happening anytime soon. There's Brian Lawrence trying to overtake the GT4 class. Oh! Alex May goes through the inside. And is Van der Mel also going to try to do it? He does. Apparently still on the inside, but he gave up. So, with that LMP3, it actually gave the opportunity for Alex May to overtake. Let's just see real quick what happened to Diogo. Ooh, a little drift is on this corner. It's not the first car that we've seen it doing. But safely goes back to the track. So, we finally have the change of leaders on the GT4 class, and now we just see how much space Alex May can finally push on ahead of Yoniemi. Meanwhile, Sven de Mel also wants that position ahead. Those championship points are always so precious. Brian Hawken now trying to overtake, perhaps making these drivers lose a bit of time. It's a good change. Could change again of who we see leading, but apparently not. Everything still stays the same. It is a white flag right now. This is the last lap that we're gonna do. LMP3s are already on the last lap. Ooh, that's a bit of a correction there. Seemed a lot dramatic. I don't think he's going for the fast lap, just now that he's just struggling a bit. But he still kept it. Meanwhile, we have these three now crossing the last line to the last lap. This is it. Alex May can still keep, of course, the lead. He seems to have gone the pace since the start, but just fighting the opportunity to overtake was the hard part. Just didn't want to send it every time. Sven de Mel gotta fight that time on this last lap. It's his last opportunity to catch Yoniemi. And now, Tom Desville is on the last sector. Going on the chicane. You see here, these boys just keep it on the position that they are. There's no way Yoniemi can pass it yet. As we see, Tom Desville now on the checkered flag. Goes on and ends this race in first position. Meanwhile, these two are still fighting. Alex May keeping himself ahead though. Right before the chicane? No, perhaps not this time. Just finding the right opportunity to overtake the right corner. Based on a drive that drives so well, it's not easy. Oh, that's a contact there. That is not cool. Vent is keeping himself in P3, perhaps. Now he is behind Philip West. So that means Philip West will get P3. Wonder if that incident is going to be investigated. Of course, the drivers can report the incidents. Let's just quickly, just really quickly see how it looked like on the other perspective. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one. It could be Sven's fault because there was just no space there and he went it anyway. Could be a desperate move, but we see. Right, so Tom Desmond does win the race on the MP3 class, and the Alex May clear of trouble in first place as well on the GT4 cars. Really quickly, let's just see. Tom Desmond in first place, Brian Lowes in second, Brian Hawken in third, Ken Sam in fourth, Duke Tidor in fifth. On the MP3 class, we also have some people that quit early, like Matty Hanpa, Leon Elwood, and Kevin Gavin didn't even participate. While on the GT4 class, we have Alex May in first, Johnny Niemi in P2, Philip Weiss in P3, Sven de Mil in P4, Daniel Ronk in P5, Charlie Lowe in P6, Joni Taken in P7, Sarah Schmidt in P8, Harry Julia in P9, and Valtteri Kallio in P10. Right, so let's see who is ready for an interview. Apparently not.
Right, good race everyone. Thank you for participating. Once again, sorry for not having a race control live today. If there were any incidents, make sure to go to the incident reports on the Discord and report it there. I'll be also in the Discord if there's any questions or anything, and we'll make sure we have a fully crewed thing here again next week.
Alright, that's a message from Kevin Stam, our admin. So, Brandon, it is a P3, but it didn't look like you had a lot of fun there, did you?
Oh, I mean, I still had fun. I was definitely didn't feel good, but oh man, yeah, I missed the mark on that one. I ran a modified setup of like what I usually run, and yeah, just I couldn't get it to not want to die coming out of the corners. So basically, yeah, I tightened it up, and yeah, just like whatever I did, I just could not get it to turn while being able to get off the corners without like it wanting to spin. So I tried. I was actually feeling good coming in until I saw the lap times put up on the board. But you know, I'll take a P3. That was it was still a really fun race. Had a really good battle there with Mati, and man, yeah, Tom was just kind of in a different league today. That was wild. So you know, hopefully it's just a one-off sort of thing, and when Okayama comes, it'll suit my setup better. But yeah, I definitely felt off today. But you know, it was it was still a lot of fun though. Good stuff from everybody.
Do you think it was more setup-wise that you struggled, or really the track itself?
Yeah, at the beginning, I was struggling a little bit trying to find the speed when I was learning the track, but yeah, I got pretty comfortable with it. I looked at everybody else's laps there during practice, and it seemed like I was doing everything the same. I thought, but yeah, one of the big things was I was just extremely tight coming off the corner. I think I may have overcompensated just a little bit. I probably could have loosened it up some, but yeah, there was you could see a visual difference in the fast corners. Like I just could not turn, but yeah, I just threw a bunch of stuff at it, hoping something would work there towards the end of practice. But yeah, I couldn't get it quite where I wanted. But yeah, I'll work on it, see if I can find something, and if I can, maybe it'll carry over to other tracks as well, hopefully. And if not, I felt pretty good for the rest, or like through all the previous races. So hopefully. Hopefully Okayama is just or like it's similar to all the other tracks, and this one is just an outlier. But man, yeah, still really great time. Not what I wanted for points, but you know, I'll take a P3. It's still solid, and I think there still might be a chance in the final race, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah, I'll just see if I can improve for next week.
Well, if, and it's a big if, you have an opportunity now to pass Tom Daswell, it has to be like a 5 or 6 position difference or more. Because Tom Daswell does have a really big gap now. He started about 60 point difference, but now with this track, this race, I think he got another 60 point lead of you.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna take some unfortunate events to happen,
Exactly, yeah.
or something. Yeah. So I'm just gonna like just. Yeah, just hope for the best. Hope for the best. Man, it's been a great race. And, yeah, it's been a great championship battle all season. And man, yeah, just couple small things like the first race I didn't quite have the result that I would have needed, and Detroit that was another setback there. But Tom also had a setback there at Daytona, so it mostly evened out. And I think if he's able to get it next week, which he probably will, he really deserves it. So man, yeah, it's really great championship battle all season. I've learned a ton, and man, yeah, just looking forward to next week. Should be a good time.
Yeah, next week, of course, being Okayama. Hopefully you're prepared for that one. And yeah, there's still chance, of course, for you to win it. But we will see. Alright, thank you so much for being here. And always, it's always a pleasure to have you also here on commentating give some really good details about your race. And so long to the next one, the last round of the sports car series.
Well, thanks, Paulo. Always great to be in here and talking to you. And man, yeah, we'll give it all I can. I'll give it all I can for next week. See if we can bring home a W. And if I can, that's as best as I can do. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And man, it's a really great season. So I'm looking forward to the next one after that, of course, as well.
Exactly. All right, everyone, see you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back in another week. And next week, we also tell you about the next series for next season. So, goodbye, everyone. See you later.